Alright, here I am back with another video for you today. Video number 2 since I've been gone. And fragrances that are just launched or launching soon. And these are ones that I've been anticipating. I'm not holding my breath. I did not smell these. These were blind buys. I used Rakuten. Basically, I placed an order and went to the stores and picked them up. So I earned a little cash back as well. But Gucci Guilty pour Homme Parfum, that's the men's version. And also Gucci Guilty Eau de Parfum Intense pour Femme. Oh my god, that's a freaking mouthful. Either way, first impressions of these two new Gucci Guilty flankers coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian. Yes, Gucci Guilty flankers, both for men and women. We've got an intense eau de parfum for women, and we've got a parfum for men. I'm hoping these are great. Are they going to be as great as Guilty Absolutes for both the men and women? I'm not holding my breath, but I'm hoping that they're great. I couldn't find a perfumer for these two fragrances. Most likely it's Alberto Morillas, isn't it? I don't know, I couldn't figure that out. But either way, first impressions of these two fragrances. Before I get to the fragrances, if this is your first time tuning into my channel and you still haven't subscribed, please click the subscribe button and also click the bell so that you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. So I did a thing about Rakuten back, I think around Black Friday in November. I wanted to update you guys again. And at that time, they were doing $40 back. So basically, I have a link to Rakuten in the info box. And anytime I place orders online, fragrances or anything else, I get a percentage back. So I was waiting for Macy's to have sales on these fragrances because they usually do 15% off. They didn't. So in order for me to maximize my dollars, I go through Rakuten and I save, I get cash back. Basically, they collect the money for a while, and after 3 months or so, they send you a check. So with Gucci Guilty pour Homme Parfum, it was $155, so I made about $10 cash back, so that's kind of like a savings. And with the women's, which is $145, the Eau de Parfum Intense, I made about $9 on that one. So if you haven't signed up for it, I have a link in the info box. As I said, click that link, sign up. Next time you're doing a purchase online, find your link to the store through Rakuten and it'll keep track for you, and then you get actually $30 back on your first purchase. As long as you spend up to $30 or more, you get $30 back. And then after that, you get a percentage back for each purchase you make. And as I said, I run all my purchases through there. I actually don't go to the stores. I buy them and I pick them up. Like Macy's is just 1 block away from my perfume studio here. And then also all the other stores are around as well. And make sure I go through this because, I spend a lot of money. And I want to make sure I, get some percentages back or, like a discount or something. And these are, going to at least make some money for me, and I don't have to pay like the entire price for the fragrances. So what happened was when I placed my order at Macy's, they actually wrote back and said they're out of the women's. So then I have to figure out, does Bloomingdale's have it? Bloomingdale's is also a block away from my perfume studio. So I had to go and do the same thing via Rakuten. So I bought the women's from there, and each one was earning 6% cash back. So sometimes they have a higher cash back. But let's go ahead and open these up. Let's go ahead and do the men's first. The men's is the Gucci Guilty pour Homme Parfum. And as I said, the men's is Parfum. The women's is Eau de Parfum. I wonder why they did it like that. Do they already have a Parfum for women? I wasn't sure. And we shall see. But I like Parfum concentrations. And according to the Gucci website, this is supposed to be a higher concentration, a more intense version of previous fragrances. I'm just hoping I like this one. I don't know. I didn't do any research. I blind bought it, no smelling. And most of the time my blind buys are okay. Sometimes they're not okay. Gucci's ones, we shall see. So now we have a very shiny, dark colored bottle. The previous version in the Eau de Parfum was a matte finish bottle. I kind of like the matte finish because it doesn't, you can't see fingerprints and things like that on it. This one, obviously, you are going to. Plus, it's you know, it's reflective, so you're going to see yourself or the camera you're photographing with. I kind of don't like that, so it's not Instagram ready is what I should say with this one. But this is a 2022 launch. It's Gucci Guilty pour Homme Parfum. It's considered a woody aromatic amber, 90 ml for $155. The perfumer is, well, I didn't know who the perfumer is, but Alberto Morillas has done the previous version, so most likely this is him, or it's a laboratory creation. Who knows? But the notes are, for top, lavender, lemon, juniper, heart, Spanish cistus, labdanum, orange flower, nutmeg, base notes, Indonesian patchouli, dry woods, and musks. Shall we test it? I got my little strips here. Let's go ahead and spray. I just hope it doesn't have that very, very common generic DNA of some other fragrances. Let's see. A lot of sprays here. So are we going to smell lavender, lemon, and juniper up top? Well, while that DNA is in the background, as soon as I sniffed it, it was there. This is a little different. It's kind of invigorating up top and aromatic. I'm starting to smell amber though, like it's creeping in because they have the labdanum and it's amber is what it creates, like an amber accord. I'm starting to smell that creeping in. So far so good. It's just if it didn't have that DNA reminder when I first smelled it, it would be a little better, but I think I'm liking this one. It's not, once again, it's not anything groundbreaking. It does smell intense. It does smell ambery. It does smell very woody and aromatic. And I'm hoping the dry down with the patchouli and dry woods and musks is pretty satisfying. It's quite pricey, $155 for a men's fragrance. That's quite pricey, I think. But it is giving, I mean, they are giving us a parfum. It is highly concentrated, so they can, I guess, charge that price. But those of you guys that buy designer fragrances, what do you normally pay? This is kind of getting into Tom Ford level of pricing, right? Although Tom Ford fragrances are a lot higher. I think their signature line is close to $200 and their new parfum is like $210. So it's still not, you know, close to Tom Ford. But this is, I think, the priciest signature fragrance I have seen from Gucci. But I kind of like this version. I don't love it. It's not, you know, it still has that reminder in the background of that kind of very generic guilty smell. It doesn't smell anything like Absolute, which I love. Absolute for men and for women has probably been the best flankers in the whole entire series. The cologne was also great, but I don't think that's really like a flanker of any of the versions. It was a complete original fragrance. But I don't hate this one. I like it. I'm just not sure if I'll pull for it. That's the only problem. But anyway, that's Gucci Guilty pour Homme Parfum. Let me know what your thoughts are on this particular fragrance. Did I make a mistake buying this? Should I take it back? I could always take it back if I don't like it. Couldn't I? Anyway, that's the first fragrance. So on to the women's Gucci Guilty Eau de Parfum Intense pour Femme. It's a mouthful, right? So tired of flankers. Why can't they come up with something new, right? Come on, please give us a brand new line of fragrances. But let's go ahead and open this one up. It's a 2022 launch once again. This one's considered a woody floral amber. It's $145. Couldn't find the perfumer, but most likely it's Alberto Morillas or it's a lab creation. They're basically pulling notes from previous versions of these fragrances, most likely to create these fragrances. But I don't know. I think it's time for a new series of fragrances from Gucci. The Guilty line's been around for a long time. Very, very long time. And I'm kind of getting burnt out on it. In fact, not kinda. I'm definitely burnt out on it. And once again, I'm uncertain why they have an intense eau de parfum for the women's and a parfum for men. I don't know. But this is the woman's bottle. And I can't remember if I showed you the men's bottle very clearly. But let's take that back out and then I'll show them side by side. But if you're a fan of this collection or series, let me know which particular fragrance do you like in this series. Are you a fan of the Absolute? I think the men's Absolute is quite amazing, and the women's is as well. The women's is also a bit on the unisex side with the patchouli and the fruitiness and the rose. But let's smell the Eau de Parfum Intense pour Femme. Before I smell this one, for notes we've got Mandora, Lychee, Violet. Heart is Ylang Ylang, Tuberose, Plums. Base, Patchouli, Vetiver, Vanilla. And to be honest, I can smell the women's off the strip. I couldn't smell the men's off the strip when I sprayed it. Go figure. And this is supposed to be the this is an Eau de Parfum Intense, and then the Parfum should be higher concentrated, but this one kind of comes to my nose and hits my nose off the strip, and that one didn't. Go figure. This is a very fruity composition. That's what I'm smelling, and also very citrusy. There's a little bit of something medicinal in there, but I'm digging this one. It seems a little tropical. Lychee fruit, ylang ylang, I think definitely has the tropical vibe. The Mandora is a citrus. The lychee has a very unique smell to it, but I think I'm getting more. Well, no, I'm getting the lychee, Mandora lychee. I think that combination with the violet is kind of creating something lightly medicinal. This seems very concentrated for an Eau de Parfum Intense. You know, as I said, I'm smelled this one a lot more than the other. I'm digging this one a lot more. It's very floral. It's very kind of has a little bit of like an angel-like smell to it as well, like Mugler's Angel. It's got that very intense sparkliness from that patchouli that's in the base. There's patchouli, vetiver, and vanilla. So this one is quite nice. I like that whole reminder of Angel. Not sure why it's reminding me of Angel, but it is, which is quite nice. I really like this one. I think this one's definitely solid. Gucci Guilty Eau de Parfum Intense pour Femme. That patchouli is very, very striking, and it comes off and hits my nose, mixed with the fruits. You know, that there's a tropical vibe to it. Lots of white flowers, but it reminds me of Angel. Go figure. Not necessarily full-on Angel, but something that's in there connecting together, like notes, giving me like a angel-like accord. So that's my thoughts on the Gucci Guilty Eau de Parfum Intense pour Femme. Again, it's a mouthful, but I think out of the two, I like the way the woman's smells much more than the men's. Let me know, guys, if you've sampled both of these fragrances and what do you think about them. Do you like one or the other? If you're a man, do you like the men's? If you're a woman, do you like the women's? And vice versa. If you're a man, do you like the women's? If you're a woman, do you like the men's? I think the men's has that very generic smell. It's not as disappointing as the previous version in the Eau de Parfum, but it's also not really satisfying. The women's is definitely very, very interesting. It has that reminder of Angel lightly, and also that kind of medicinal touch up top kind of is very unique to me. I don't hate medicinal fragrances. In fact, I like some medicinal smells, and I like the whole tropical vibe and the floral vibe. So I think the winner between the two is definitely the women's. But what are your thoughts? Let me know. Put some comments down so I can find out. Either way, that's all I have for you today on a Sunday. If you haven't taken advantage of Rakuten, as I said, please do. It's free to sign up, and as soon as you spend something through Rakuten, so basically what you do is click to Rakuten, search the store, find out what the percentage is, then click on the link. It takes you to the actual retailer's store, and when you make that purchase, you get $30 back as long as you spend 30 or more on your first purchase. So I think it's a great deal. Anyway, thanks so much for tuning in today. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video, please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye. Now that I've stopped and thought about it, Gucci Guilty Eau de Parfum Intense pour Femme reminds me of another Gucci fragrance. Go figure. in addition to reminding me of Angel. And I should take it back. It's not like identical. I did already say that. It hints at it, and I think that's the patchouli mixed with the fruits. But this is really reminding me of A Chant for the Nymph. This is another Gucci offering. Very tropical here, very honeyed. And there is a honeyed quality here as well. The ylang ylang along with the lychee and a few other notes kind of creates this honeyed experience. So it's hinting at A Chant for the Nymph. So if you've thought about owning a bottle of A Chant for the Nymph, which retails for about $350, $370, I think, this might be a good alternative from the same brand. They're not identical, it just hints at it. That sweetness, the warmth, the fruitiness, and the tropical vibe in here is definitely reminiscent of A Chant for the Nymph from Gucci as well. Anyway, I wanted to report back on that as well since I haven't aired the video. And now that I've sampled this particular fragrance and it's reminding me of other things, it's definitely reminding me this in addition to a little hint of Angel. Anyway, thank you.